Gotta know certain things. All right. Ray didn't get lucky. The Clout Demon. What am I feeling? What am I feeling? What am I feeling? What am I feeling? Oh, my alarm's triggering. Yes, sir. We'll go right in. We'll go.
Think of the internet like a street performance. Every day, someone steps up with a mic, a camera, a dream, a viral moment, a lucky clip, a spark, and maybe...
Yeah.
Just maybe, the world pays attention. But most of the time, you're there just long enough to be forgotten. But then came Ray. One day, no one knew who he was. The next, he wasn't just in the spotlight, he was stealing the show.
What's up, GQ? I'm Ray. It's 10 things I can live well.
And while most creators spend years planning their moment, Ray just stumbled into his. Not with strategy, not with sponsors, not even with a camera of his own. Just a nervous smile, a chance encounter, and a little bit of chaos. See, 500 days ago, Ray wasn't a streamer. He was a student, finishing high school in Taiwan. No followers, no streams, no hype. His nights were textbooks, gaming, Valorant clips, and inside jokes only 3 friends understood. But that changed on July 14th, 2023, the day Ray accidentally walked into internet history.
Got it! Huh? Got it! Got it! Got it! Got it! Yeah! Got it! Got it!
Kaizenat was live streaming in Japan. The stream had been live for about an hour when he stopped outside a 7-Eleven in the middle of Tokyo, looking for snacks and filming one of his usual chaotic IRL segments. As he panned the camera around, a kid suddenly appeared in frame, nervous, buzzing with energy, and wearing a wide grin. It was Ray. At that point, no one knew who he was. Just another fan hoping for a handshake, maybe a photo, but this wasn't just another street interaction. Their first words were clumsy. Ray's voice cracked with adrenaline, and his hands trembled as he reached out. Kai laughed, Ray laughed. But more importantly, they matched each other's energy instantly. In that mess of nerves and noise, something clicked. The connection felt real, and instead of walking away, Ray stayed. He didn't just snap a picture and vanish. He asked if he could tag along, and to everyone's surprise, including his own, Kai said yes. So Ray did, for hours. They wandered Tokyo together, through game stores, back alleys, taxis, karaoke booths. Ray wasn't trying to steal the show, he was just reacting in real time. Goofy, honest, completely in over his head. But the magic? It worked. Ray wasn't trying to be funny. He just was. Raw, real, ridiculously entertaining. And the clips? They went nuclear. TikTok caught fire, Twitter followed, fans begged for more. Suddenly, Ray wasn't just the kid from the Japan vlog. He was Ray. After their meetup in Japan, everything accelerated. Just weeks after their first chaotic meetup, Kai flew Ray to America for the first time.
One thing about Ray, I peeped that. I remember that first stream because I saw the VOD for it, but I wasn't like really locked into it. So in my head, he did kind of just pop up out of nowhere. But the interaction was real, was actually genuine. And it's just like for him to learn English to the degree that he has in such a short amount of time is crazy. And it makes me low-key think about like that immersion thing that people be saying. It's like using Duolingo and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's cool, but it's not really going to give you the actual like knowledge that you need to really put everything into context and just string together all the words that you need. So being in a zone where you can just immerse yourself and be around like people that speak the language, that live the culture and all that sort of thing, it puts you into a whole different stratosphere when it comes to just content creation as a whole. And he's probably the only person from like the Clover House. Well, I don't have an issue with Ty Lil for real, but like Rakai, to me, I don't think he's funny. I think he's just like flat out annoying. Like he's Kai. If you took every annoying aspect about him, took everything else out, and then doubled and squared or cubed the annoyingness of it, right? And granted, he is just a high schooler, so stands to reason. But with Ray, the energy was just different because it was like there was a certain level of like timidness and understanding and wanting to understand and just like cluelessness. And like the cluelessness of a foreigner is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. But it's like when they try to get something or when they try to say certain words and they can't get certain things out, like you're not laughing trying to make fun of them, but you're laughing kind of at their expense. But when they're cool with it and they understand like there's gonna be some difficulty both ways, even when you try to learn their stuff, it makes for like actual content, like actually entertaining stuff. And Ray was one of the few people where it was like that.
It was his first time in the US, and everything felt new. Strange accents, giant portions, and 24/7 cameras. But oddly, it didn't feel like he was out of place. Ray fit right in, like he'd always been part of the crew. He met the rest of the AMP members, tried American food for the first time, wandered through Walmart like it was a theme park, and even filmed a short film with Kai that would blow up across the internet. After his visit in America, Ray returned to Taiwan. But he wasn't the same. After America, something had shifted. He wasn't just the funny kid from Japan anymore. He was someone people looked forward to seeing, someone fans searched for in clips, commented about in chat, and started following in real time. Fans had started to like Ray more and more. They weren't just watching for Kai. They wanted Ray. They wanted more streams, more moments, more of the kid who somehow made everything feel authentic. So back in Taiwan, Ray did something simple. He started streaming. No big production, no crew. Just Ray, a webcam, and his bedroom. He'd sit in front of his computer, sometimes with a plate of food, sometimes mid-homework, and just talk. About school, about Kai, about nothing. And people tuned in. Because even when he was alone, Ray made the internet feel like a group chat with your funniest friend. Now his streams pulled in thousands, not because of high production or fancy edits, but because he was something special. Learning a new language is hard, not just academically, but emotionally. It's like trying to build a bridge with pieces you barely understand and hoping it doesn't collapse when people start walking across. Every sentence is a puzzle, every word a risk. You're not just trying to communicate, you're trying to belong. For most people, moving to a new country means years of struggle, years of getting laughed at, misunderstood, ignored. It takes time to pick up the rhythm of a new language, the tone, the slang, the sarcasm, and even then, it doesn't guarantee you'll ever feel like you truly fit in. Imagine showing up in a new country, and suddenly, everything you know, your language, your jokes, your instincts, none of it translates. Your thoughts get stuck. Your voice feels smaller. You're surrounded by people, yet somehow more alone than ever. You want to speak, but the words aren't ready. You want to connect, but you don't know how. But Ray was different. Because even though his English was basic, broken even, he still fit in. He matched the vibe. He didn't understand every word, but he understood energy. He could mirror the room, read the tone, react to emotion instead of grammar. That's something no textbook can teach. He wasn't fluent, but he was present. And that made him feel familiar, like someone you already knew, even if he spoke differently. With Kai on his side, Ray didn't just learn English, he absorbed it. He picked it up the way a younger brother copies an older one. He echoed.
Another thing about it that I thought about was like, realistically, if Ray had met like 85% of other popping streams, like if he met anybody on the other side of the net, he wouldn't have been able to be in the position that he's in right now, high key. Like, well, I'm not gonna say that. He probably wouldn't have gotten to it in the exact same manner, and he probably wouldn't be as big. He might still matter, but like him making that connection with Kai and them coming over here, having that entire arc, and then going back over there, realizing, dang, it's kind of like tasting something that got a lot of sugar in it for the first time. And then you go back to eating whatever it was that you usually have. Like you got a taste for it, you want to go back. And then having the opportunity to go back and rejoin Kai, rejoin AMP, rejoin and meet like Rakai and all the rest of the guys. And being in that community, I think that community aspect goes like, it's not really paid attention to as much as it should be, because it's a lot easier to just look and be like, oh, Kai put him on. But there's a lot of people that potentially could have been put on by Kai or have had the opportunity to be in certain spaces with him or other mainstream streamers, and they just haven't either capitalized on it, haven't been able to assimilate, or just the content got kind of awkward or weird after a certain point in time because they're just not as compatible with whoever it is that they joined up with. That's not to say that they're not a good content creator or whatever, but for just putting things in like simple terms, like Ray was just built for this type of situation and he capitalized on it to the max. Not to disrespect anybody else that tried it, but he was just in a one-of-one experience and he made himself one of one.
The crew repeated what he heard, word for word, sentence for sentence. If Kai said it, Ray said it. If AMP joked about it, Ray memorized it. It was fast, unfiltered, real, and that's what made it work. But that kind of learning, raw imitation, comes with risk. Because when you're learning in real time, in a language you don't fully understand, sometimes the words you pick up aren't the ones you're supposed to repeat.
Yeah, black bucket. Shut your up.
The internet clipped it instantly. The backlash came fast. It was one of those moments where everything pauses and then explodes. And yeah, it looked bad. But can you really blame him? When you're learning a language by immersion, surrounded by streamers, memes, and Twitch culture, how do you know where the line is? You don't. You mimic, you adapt, you say what gets laughs, you say what the people around you say. Ray didn't grow up with American context, he grew into it, and sometimes that means learning things the hard way. Ray wasn't trying to be someone else, he wasn't faking it, he was just trying to keep up, trying to speak like the people around him, trying to find his place in a world that moved fast and didn't wait. And as he repeated the phrases, copied the tone, mirrored the humor, something started to happen. He didn't just learn the language, he picked up the rhythm, the slang, the cadence, the jokes, and over time, it changed the way he spoke. It changed the way people saw him. Soon, people started calling him Raekwon. At first, it was a joke, something said on stream to get a laugh. But like most jokes, it carried a bit of truth. Because this kid from Taiwan, the one who barely spoke English when he showed up, wasn't just participating anymore. He was blending in, effortlessly, naturally. He didn't just understand the words, he understood the vibe. And that made all the difference. When people become famous, it always comes with a price. And for Ray, it was no different. From the outside, it might have looked easy. One day he was a student in Taiwan, the next he was streaming in America, flying across the world, gaining followers by the thousands.
And blending this
What
way
people
is
don't see is the weight
crazy.
that comes with that kind of rise. The comments, the assumptions, the quiet resentment. Because no matter how many people loved him, there were still plenty who weren't convinced. People who looked at him and didn't see talent. They saw luck. They said he was just in the right place at the right time. Just another random kid who stumbled into someone else's spotlight. The narrative was simple. He's only famous because of Kai. It's no different than sports. Think about your favorite athlete. The icons. The ones who changed the game. Every single one of them had someone behind the scenes. A coach. A mentor. Someone who pushed them, challenged them, guided them. That mentor didn't make them great. They just helped bring it out. And with Ray, it was no different. Kai saw something in him. Not just a funny kid, not just someone to tag along for content. From that very first moment in Tokyo outside a 7-Eleven, with the stream live and the energy chaotic, something clicked. Ray wasn't trying to go viral. He wasn't chasing the camera. He was just being himself. Awkward, excited, real, and somehow that worked. There was something magnetic about it. The way he matched Kai's rhythm without trying. The way he carried himself with a kind of natural awareness that didn't need polish or perfection. He felt real, not manufactured, not over-rehearsed. Just a kid in the right place, doing the right thing, because it came naturally. And that's rare. That's not something you can teach or script or fake.
I'm not gonna lie, he hit the nail on the head with that one. Because you can always make the argument that he got put on by Kai. But in order to stay in the limelight and stay relevant and honestly be popping the way that he is, to be getting GQ, videos and whatnot, and getting different sponsorships, you have to have something in you, right? Your reputation and who you're around can only carry you but so far if you're a background character. Robin is always gonna be Robin, no matter who he's around. Even in Teen Titans, that's still Robin. He's just closer to Nightwing type Robin than he is to, sidekick 1970s Robin, but he'll never be Batman, right? Batman is Batman. That's the only Batman you'll ever know. Superman is Superman. He's the only Superman you'll ever know. There's Supergirl, but that's his cousin. That's his cousin or his niece or whatever. But there's always a sidekick will always be a sidekick. An MC will always be an MC. And he proved that he was a temporary sidekick, so to speak, but he was always the MC the whole time. He just needed the opportunity to showcase it and to grow into it, so to speak.
It's instinct. That's presence. Kai recognized it instantly. That's why he didn't just take a photo and move on. That's why he let Ray stay. That's why he brought him in, on stream, into the crew, and eventually into the culture. Because Kai didn't make Ray special. He just gave the world a chance to notice what he already saw. So yeah, Ray got help. But help only matters if there's something worth helping. And from day one, Ray proved that he wasn't just riding a wave. He was the wave. Success for most people takes years. Years of late nights, trial and error, small wins, and quiet sacrifices. Even then, only a small percentage ever make it. The climb is steep, the spotlight is limited, and most people never get close. But for Ray, the timeline looked completely different. Since that moment in Japan, everything has moved fast, almost unreal. In under 2 years, Ray has gone from an unknown kid in Taiwan to one of the most recognizable streamers in the world. No slow build, no 5-year grind, just pure acceleration. He's reached millions across continents, languages, and platforms. His face has been everywhere. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Scroll long enough and you'll see him. A clip, a meme, a viral reaction. He's become the internet's favorite wildcard. And with that reach came doors. Big ones. He's hung out with the biggest names in the industry, collaborated with global brands like Adidas, shot features for GQ, even played in high-profile charity games alongside A-list celebrities and athletes. All of this, not over a decade, but in less than 24 months. These aren't normal milestones. These are once-in-a-lifetime moments, the kind of things most creators spend their whole careers chasing. And Ray, he made them happen before most people even learn how to set up a camera. So yeah, maybe you still think he got lucky. But luck doesn't explain all of this, because Ray's got something special, something you can't teach, something you can't fake. And whatever that something is, it's only just getting started.
I'm not gonna lie, he cooked the hell out of this video. Who's bro? I'm not gonna lie, bro earned that, like, holy. Nah, he